Hey everybody, it's Daryl back again. I had a subscriber ask the question of me, and I think it's probably something that would be good for all your beekeeping channels to probably chime in on. Uh, what got me into beekeeping? Well, I was researching stuff on YouTube about gardening stuff because at that time I had a big garden and everything else, and you can never learn too much about gardening. And after watching gardening videos for weeks at a time, I slowly started falling in the black hole of beekeeping, and that's what got me into it. I watched beekeeping videos for probably 6, 8 months, uh, and Hope looked at me one day. She said, "We're getting bees, aren't we?" I said, "Yep." So after taking one beginning class through a community college near my house, I went out and got bees. I think I did a video. You'll have to scroll down through my stuff. I'll have to look for it and see if I can't put it in one of the videos at the end. But it's me actually putting the packages in uh, the hives to start with. That was that was my first beekeeping video. But like I said, I'll have to see if I can find uh, that video in my stuff and put it toward the end of the video or leave it in the notes below. But that's what got me into it. YouTube. When I was younger, we had a tree that we used to have a swing in, and when we got older, there was a hole in it that the squirrels would go into the tree. And one year, I reckon the squirrels had left or something, and the bees moved in it. Well, we had a storm come through and blow the tree down, and we had a guy come out, and he actually got the bees out of the tree because it split in two. He didn't even have to have a chainsaw or anything else. That was my first encounter with bees, and it was not good because every time I'd get near the tree, for some unknown reason, they would eat me up. But that guy come out and got those bees out of the tree, and I didn't really think a whole lot about it until years later on down when I got to watching beekeeping videos on YouTube. Another question that he was asking was, how do I make money on beekeeping? I don't. You can sell honey, uh, but I mean, it won't pay for your cost initially. I mean, if you sell honey long enough, you might be able to recoup the cost for your equipment and stuff like that. But I mean, if you're getting into beekeeping to try to make money, you're going to have to spend lots of money and get lots of hives going in order to make anything profitable off of beekeeping. Uh, Mr. Ed uh, can tell you uh, about spending a whole bunch of money on beekeeping equipment because he's got a whole bunch of it, and he will tell you that it takes a lot of money to get to the point where he's at as far as having honey houses and everything else. I used to do pollination contracts, but the only thing about that is small-time beekeeper like me, you have to pick the hives up and put them where they want them at, and then you have to go back and get them and pick them up. And if you're just starting to beekeeping or whatever, double stacked or triple stacked hive is extremely heavy. You're looking 100 pounds at least, especially if they're full of honey and they're triple stacked. But you make money doing pollination contracts if you want to, selling honey. By the time you buy the equipment and the jars and everything else, you're not really making a whole lot out of that. But uh, one thing you could also do is sell bees. I haven't got into doing that, and that might be something I might kick around the idea of doing. Is starting to sell some bees. But I'd like to get into raising queens because them guys raising queens is making a friggin' killing at 35, $40 a piece, and then you got to pay for the shipping and stuff too. But you got to have the right equipment and the time to do that. That queen rearing is very time consuming. You got to get your hives right and all that other good stuff. So that's what got me into beekeeping. As far as the money wise, I make a little bit of money on the cutouts that I do. And of course YouTube, I make a little bit of money off of YouTube. Not enough to really account for a whole lot, but I mean, every little bit helps, right? So before I close this video out, I want to show you where I'm at now. And this is what I'm looking at. My mother's got a place down here on Lake Tillery. This is actually the Uwharrie River. And that's where I'm at this weekend. We're down here with the family and we're just hanging out. Me and my brother went fishing for a little bit today. One of my subscribers, he didn't ever get his name, but he seen him on the river down here, and he was like, "Hey, fish man." Dick pulled up to him and was talking to him. He was like, "That's my brother." He said he's down here ever so often, but he ain't down here as much as I was. So if that was you, hey, in case y'all didn't know, I have an identical twin brother, and if I think about it, I'll throw the picture up of us when we were little. Uh, when I say identical, we're identical twins, and still favor a whole lot. We were so identical that a girl did a thing in class. How identical are you? It was a science project or something. And mine and Derek's fingerprints when we were in high school were exactly the same except for one finger. And they had to blow it up to, I think it was 10 times its normal size to see the difference in it. So that's how identical we were or are. So, but that's the story on how I got into beekeeping and all that good stuff. So I hope y'all doing good. And as always, we'll see y'all on the next one.